So you've got a lot of cotton and wool, but you're not really in the mood of making some fabric and clothes. How about some ropes? But is the rope factory a profitable investment? If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. How's it going, everybody? Driver53 here, and today we are going to take a look and see if the rope factory is worth investing in here in Farming Simulator 25. This is a brand new production for the Farming Simulator franchise, and what you're going to be able to do is take your wool and your cotton, and you're going to be able to make some ropes here. Now, you're going to be able to use this in some other things down the line, but we're not going to be taking a look at that. Today, we're only taking a look at the profitability or the revenue that you're going to be able to generate here from this factory. I've got a spreadsheet here, and let's go ahead and jump right into it. The first two columns you could see are the input and the easy input sell price. So you're going to be able to take your wool and your cotton and put in here and then be able to get ropes on the outside. Now, the value that you see there in the second column, that's how much 1,000 liters of your wool or your cotton is going to be. For wool, it's $36.38, and for cotton, it's $41.69. Now, these prices are set on the easy economy, and these are the peak prices that you can expect to see if you wait and sell it at the highest rate that it's going to go for. If you're playing on normal economy, it's going to be 60% of the values here on the screen, and if you're playing on hard economy, it's going to be 33%. The next two columns that you see here are the input quantity per cycle and the input value per cycle. So for every single cycle, you're going to be able to put 20 liters of wool into this, and then 150 liters of your cotton. That's going to be valued at $72.76 for your wool and $625.35 for your cotton. The next two columns that you see here are the output and the peak easy output sell price. So you're going to be able to make ropes out of both wool and cotton, and the value on 1,000 liters of rope is $16,059. The next two columns are your output quantity per cycle and your output value per cycle. With 20 liters of wool, you're going to be able to make 3 liters of rope. And with 150 liters of cotton, you're going to be able to make 40 liters of rope. And that's valued at $48.18 for the wool recipe and $642.36 for your cotton. Now, that may not seem like very much that you're going to be able to get, but the cycles per month kind of helps you out there a little bit. You're going to be able to do 240 on the wool recipe, but only 192 on the cotton. Production cost is kept at a minimum of only $24 and $12 for the two different recipes. Now, that still might not sound like you're making very much money, and let's go and take a look here at the next column. Output value per month. On wool, you're only going to be able to bring in about $11,500, but for cotton, you're going to be able to bring in a little bit over $123,000 of revenue. Now, that is a really big difference here, and I think the reason is because they kind of want you to take your wool and send it over to a spinnery and then make clothes out of it, and then your cotton is going to come over here and actually make your ropes. Now, if you're still on the fence about whether or not you want to run the rope factory here, well, let me show you this next column, and it's the input value per month. That's going to be if you didn't run anything through this facility and you just sold the same amount of product, your wool or your cotton, before, how much could you expect to make? Well, on your wool, it's actually going to be about $17,500, and on your cotton, it's going to be about $120,000. Now, that seems quite a bit odd that you're actually able to make more money on your wool if you sell it before you run it through here. And that's where this next column comes in. You can see that you're actually going to be negative about $5,900 if you run your wool and you make rope out of it. But your cotton, you're going to be able to make about $3,000. I honestly don't know why anybody would want to run the wool recipe here in this facility, because it costs $300,000 to put down. It's not a cheap facility at all, or even if you get the one that's on base game, it's still $300,000. So you're never going to make your money back if you run the wool recipe here. The only thing that you could do is use this in later productions. There's at least one thing on the map that you're going to be able to use rope for, so maybe that's your end goal, is to make those items there. We're going to be taking a look at that in a separate video here in the future. But your cotton, I mean, you are going to be able to make some money. And if you take the output value per month, $123,000, and you factor that into the returnability, how soon you'll be able to pay off this facility, you can see that it's actually only about 2.4 months. Now, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to run both recipes. I still don't know why you would, but it is a divided production. So keep that in mind. If you're running wool and cotton in here at the same time, then it actually cuts the amount of productivity in half for each recipe. So how much cotton do you need to keep this thing running for an entire month? Well, it's going to be almost 29,000 liters, and you're going to get about 7,700 liters of rope out of this thing. So it's pretty good. I mean, I feel like 28,000 isn't that much cotton. If you've got a couple decent sized fields, you should be able to keep this thing running pretty good. So this is the first facility that we looked at where one of the recipes doesn't actually pay off at all. You're losing your money here, but I think cotton is definitely a way to go with this. And like I said, there is another thing that you're going to be able to do with this here in the base game. So maybe just kind of take a little bit of an even thing here on this and make all your money on the next one. Well, that's going to be it for today, everybody. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and give it a like if you would. Make sure to hit subscribe and turn on your notifications to keep up to date on my future videos. While you're waiting on those future videos, go and check out one of these two right here. Have a great day, night, evening, everybody. Until next time, this is Driver53 signing off.